Hello everybody, and today I've got a story about a student that shoved a teacher to the ground. So I went to school with a student, and for the purposes of this story, let's call him Clark. So, me and Clark weren't exactly friends, but we weren't enemies either. Like, I got along with the kid sometimes, but to say that he was odd was a bit of an understatement. Like, one thing is, he was always talking about joining the military. Yeah, he was one of those kids. You know, the type to instantly join cadets whenever they have a chance. Yeah. And the school was new. It had just been built. So its gymnasium hadn't been finished. And the teachers decided to make a little area caged in the parking lot for gym. And since it was just a caged-in area, we didn't have much choice in gym activities. And so we played dodgeball. And for most days, it went pretty well, you know, throw the ball around, do a couple warm-up exercises. But one day, Clark gets hit in the face with a dodgeball. And that just sets him off. And he goes up to the other kid, yelling and screaming, and so the other kid starts yelling and screaming back. And they kind of get up close in each other's face, start shoving each other. Luckily the teacher was there, so he just broke it up. And sadly, this was not his only altercation. He would constantly get into fights with anyone about anything, and he was just very aggressive. And I have plenty of stories on how he would just up and fight somebody or get into an argument because the teacher would just let him do that, so he never learned his lesson, right? The teacher would let him walk all over her and nothing was done about it. And that became very evident on this specific day. See, our school had a playground, and it was a pretty nice playground. It had like a rubber floor and one of those things that you'd spin, then everybody hops onto, and you'd see how long you last on it. And I guess one of the kids that were on it spinning around had insulted Clark. And Clark got real pissed about that. Like, this kid had some anger issues. And he started fighting, like, actual fighting with this other student. And it was a pretty one-sided fight. Clark was not the best combatant. And the teacher got there pretty fast because she was watching over us. And separated, got in between them, right? And Clark, he was not easy to defuse. So he started yelling at the teacher, saying that she was dumb and stuff like that. The teacher's like, go to the principal's office. And so Clark runs up to the teacher, full body, sprint shoves the teacher straight to the ground, and then just runs off, like that, into the wind. And everybody's just standing there dumbfounded, right? As she gets up off the ground, you would think that she'd start, like, yelling at him to get back over there, because he was still within, like, talking distance pretty much. He was, like, not a very fast runner. But she didn't even go after him. She just continued the class like nothing happened. And everybody's talking it for the rest of the day. He doesn't come back to class. He's just gone. And I thought that he would get expelled or something like that. But he just comes in the next day like nothing had happened. And he didn't even mention that day. He just pretended like it didn't happen. Which is pretty dumb. Like, everybody saw that. But he just didn't want to address it. Well, that's where this story ends. And if you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike. And if you really liked it, leave a subscribe. And I'm fine if you don't do any of those things. Hopefully, I'll post another video. I procrastinate a lot, but thank you for watching. Goodbye.